Thuc Meets the Fairy. Long ago, in Tan Hoa, then called Hoa Chau, there lived a man named Thuc. He was born into a Mandarin family and was appointed to a small official position in a district of Kin Bac region, said to be today's Tien Du district, Bac Ninh province. Near the district stood a large temple with a giant peony tree inside. Every spring, when the flowers bloomed, visitors from all directions gathered there in great numbers to admire the blossoms. One day, a young girl of about 16 or 17, beautiful and gentle-looking, came to see the flowers. By accident, she broke a peony branch. Having nothing to pay as compensation, she was detained by the temple monks. Thuc happened to pass by, and seeing her plight, he took off his outer robe and gave it to the temple as payment to set the girl free. Everyone who witnessed the scene praised Thuc for his kindness and generosity. Thuc loved traveling, enjoying beautiful landscapes, and writing poetry. He cared little for official duties and was often scolded by his superiors. Before long, he resigned from office. Hearing that Tong Sun district had many scenic mountains, he took a young servant and a bag of musical instruments, built a small house at the foot of the mountains, and lived there. From then on, no beautiful place in the region was left without Thuc's footsteps. One morning, he rose early and looked toward the Phu Pass, where he saw 5 colored clouds forming the shape of a lotus flower. Curious, Thuc rowed his boat alone toward the sight. Reaching the foot of a tall mountain range rising beside the sea, he tied his boat and climbed onto a high rock. There, he noticed a cave on the mountainside, round and wide at the entrance, and decided to explore it. After walking only a few steps inside, the cave entrance suddenly closed. Darkness surrounded him, and he could no longer see the way. Feeling his way along a stream, he walked for a long time until he finally saw light ahead. He emerged from the cave and arrived at another mountain, towering high with steep slopes. Clinging to rock crevices, Thuc climbed upward with great effort. At the top, he found a wide path. The sky was clear and bright, and in the distance stood magnificent palaces hidden among green trees. Thuc followed the road to one of the palaces. Suddenly, 2 young maidens dressed in blue ran out, whispering excitedly, "Our bridegroom has arrived." They hurried inside the splendid building. Soon after, they returned and said to Thuc, "Our lady invites you to come in." Thuc followed them inside and was amazed by the golden halls, jade stairways, silk-covered walls, scenes he had only read about in books. Passing through several gates, he saw names carved above them, such as Changhu Hall and Jaguang Pavilion. Upstairs, he met a noble lady dressed in white silk, seated gracefully on a jeweled couch. The lady invited Thuc to sit and asked, "You often travel to see strange and beautiful places. Do you know where you are now?" Thuc replied, "I have traveled far and wide, but I never imagined such a fairyland existed. Please enlighten me." The lady smiled and said, "This is the 6th cave among the 36 flying caves. I am Lady Wei, an earth immortal of Mount Nam Tak. Seeing your noble heart, I invited you here." She then asked a maid to bring out a young lady. At first glance, Thuc recognized her. It was the same girl who had broken the peony branch at the temple. Lady Wei said, "My daughter's name is Jiang Hong. When she went to see the flowers, she was saved by your kindness. I have never forgotten that debt. Now I wish for her to marry you as repayment." That very night, a grand wedding banquet was held, and Thuc and Jiang Hong became husband and wife. After about a year in the fairy realm, Thuc began to miss his homeland and said to Jiang Hong, "I have been away from home for a long time. Sometimes I long to visit my old village." Jiang Hong hesitated, saying nothing. Thuc continued, "I will only stay a short while, then return here to you." Tears filled Jiang Hong's eyes as she replied, I do not stop you out of selfish love, but time in the human world passes quickly. I fear that when you return, nothing will remain as before. She told her mother of his wish. Knowing Thuc's earthly ties were not yet severed, Lady Wei ordered a celestial carriage to escort him home. Before parting, Jiang Hong handed Thuc a sealed letter and told him to open it only after reaching home. In just a moment, Thuc arrived at his old village. But everything looked unfamiliar, only the mountains and streams remained the same. Asking the elders about himself, one old man replied, When I was young, I heard of an ancestor of my family with the same name. He disappeared into a cave 200 years ago.